Okay, so hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk about shrines, Shinto shrines there's about 100,000 Shinto shrines in Japan, and recently I've been going to shrines and seeing what I can see there, if I find anything there, if I can communicate with anyone there, and it's been quite interesting. And I went to one of the main shrines. There's three main shrines in Japan, and one of the main shrines is close to where I live. So I decided to head on over there, and I've been there many, many, many times. But this time I found usually a closed-off little pathway that leads you behind the main shrine into this other shrine, which is supposedly the real main shrine. And this real main shrine is it's gated off, and there's barbed wire on top of the shrine, and there's an actual guard box with a guard man there guarding just this tiny shrine. I don't know who's after this shrine or why they have to guard it so much, but it was very interesting. And then behind that I found this other route that you can go in, and there's all these smaller shrines there. And the really interesting thing about it is that this is hundreds, maybe 500 years old or more. And just wandering around a place like that is very interesting. And so I wandered around to each different shrine to see what I could see, and I met all kinds of interesting beings, I guess you could call them. And one of the interesting ones, a lot of times in shrines they'll have trees that are enshrined. And so there's this giant, I think, speaking of the timeline, 500 years is maybe too short. But yeah, maybe this tree is about 1,000 years old. I'm not sure, but it was enshrined. And I went up to the tree, and it's funny, my lip is starting to feel numb. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so I went up to the shrine, and the tree talked to me. It said, "You're not supposed to be here. What are you doing here?" I thought, what? He said, "Yeah, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be far away from here. This isn't where you're supposed to be. Why are you here?" And I thought that was interesting. That's the second time I've talked to or third time I've talked to a tree. And yeah, so I asked my guides about it, and they'd said that trees are very, very wise. And the tree was just looking into my blueprint, my life blueprint, and I wasn't supposed to be where I was. I was supposed to be far away from there. And I guess that was the original plan, but I guess plans change. And another interesting thing was a close family member of mine passed, and in my meditations I saw him, and he was a giant tree. He was a huge tree. He would appear kind of behind me as this giant tree. I think maybe some of you have seen the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, and there's a character there called Root. It's kind of like the character of Root. He was just like a real nature guy, and he's just high-fiving me and all these things. And yeah, so the trees are very, very interesting. So I thought I would try to see if I could communicate with the trees today to bring through a message. So here goes. Greetings, it is us, the Hathors. Before we bring through the trees, we would like to pass on a message to you of love and of peace, and of wonderment and of joy in this amazing world that you have found yourself in. Times are, yes, becoming more and more intense, but these are the opportune times for you to grow and to change and to become what you need to become. These are the times where you become diamonds under the pressure. We wanted to share that message with you. We'll bring through the trees. Greetings. Hello. We are the tree collective. We are trees. And we watch you. We're always watching you. Looking over you, just like this one before you. We often tell you, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be somewhere else. What are you doing still here? Not many of you listen to us. Some of you do. But we can see, we understand, we know where you are. We live longer than you do on this planet, so we've seen a lot more, and we're able to see more. You may not see us seeing, and that's fine, because we don't see the way that you see. We see the way that you see if you're looking into another dimension. It's maybe a sense that you might think of, a sensation. But we see all. And we're here to guide you. And we're here to help you. If you ever do have any problems, talk to one of us. We're always here. We're always willing to listen. We love to listen. We listen to the birds every day. They have such amazing stories. You should listen to their stories every once in a while. Those stories are so interesting, so complex. You'd be surprised at how complex the stories they tell. Sometimes we find ourselves talking to other trees and trying to decipher the complexity of these birds' songs. And stories are quite interesting. So please listen. And know that we're here to listen to your stories as well. We love stories. We are storytellers ourselves. We love to tell the stories that you tell us to each other. And we also tell our tree stories to each other. So please, come, talk to us. We're always ready. We're always willing to listen. We're always willing to give you some shade, to give you some peace. We have so much peace. And if you need love, we have love as well. If you need guidance, we have guidance. Know that we're here. We're always here to help you. All right, so that was the message from the Tree Collective. Cheers.